Okay, so no unnecessary introduction, just straight to the point, real quick. 5 minutes, ready? Replace the battery, not the auxiliary battery, the one that we replaced before, but the main battery. Remove your tabs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remove those tabs. They look like this. Pull this up. They pry up with a little pick tool. Take the if yours is R design, you're going to have this sway bar. Loosen it on that side by maybe 4 turns. Loosen it on this side. You got to remove these little plastic covers to get to the bolts. Set it off to the side. Don't even remove everything. Then what you're going to do is take this plastic piece, wedge it in like this, so that this gives you clearance to get into the battery tray. Next, positive 10 millimeter remove, negative 10 millimeter remove, and your vent hose. Remove and tuck it behind the windshield wiper arm, like that. Just tuck it back there. This right here, you can pull back. This cable here, all you do is you put your hand in the side, there's very little room, and pull up on it so that you can gain access to those 10 millimeter hold down. There's gonna be 1 bolt for the hold down. By the way, I vacuumed everything out and I soak everything in WD-40. Then this is your little hold down, right? You're not gonna be able to get it out even with a magnet because this little edge goes around the battery. So it sits like this, right? Okay, so it sits like this. And you won't be able to get it out because the edge is going to keeps getting stuck on here. So what you do is you actually pull it out from underneath the cover. You raise the plastic cover up a little bit, you reach in there and you pull it out this way. Okay, now that bolt, by the way, you're going to use a magnet. So you're going to use a magnet like this, a little magnet off Amazon. These are like $12. You're going to use that to get your hold down bolt out. It's a 10 millimeter. What I like to use is a little 1/4 inch extension like this. It's a super thin one. A large one like this will not work. So this is too big of a nut. So you got to have something slim and low profile, and then you could just use a little 1/4 inch ratchet to remove that. Okay. By the way, it's a 13 millimeter for the bolts. For these bolts for the sway bar. Okay, then you can use a little 10 millimeter like this wrench to loosen the positive and the negative terminal clamps. Very important is that you don't, on these older cars, everything is very brittle and flat and fragile. Don't start like yanking at all this stuff, because you don't want to like break one of these wires. Like this is your battery management sensor, so you don't want to like break this, and Volvo's going to charge you $250 for this little wire. So be very careful not to like break anything, right? You want to like take your time. You can, if you want, undo the clip. There's one on top and one on the bottom. You just pull on it gently and they'll come out. Okay, so that's it. I'm gonna put when you take the battery out, by the way, you just take one hand, pull it, and then take one other hand, scoop it underneath, and you'll be able to like wiggle it out like this. Okay. All right, so do you see on the battery, when the battery's in, here is a good angle at the hold down. Okay, so do you see how much access you have right now? So what you do is you snake it, not through the top, but you go in through the bottom over here. See where my hands are? See where my finger is? So you lift up on this little bracket and you snake it in through the bottom over here. All right, so surprise, surprise, some monkey was in here before me apparently, replacing that battery over there, and this connector was actually broken. So when I start to move it back into position, I just noticed it literally just came apart, and that wire was just hanging by a thread in this green connector, so it wasn't getting a proper contact, which was actually probably the cause of my battery warning light. It might have not even been the battery that was the issue. It was maybe this when they broke it. So what I'm going to have to do now is I'm going to remove this connector and de-pin this connector. I'm going to clean that contact off, and I'm going to connect this wire together. I'm going to use liquid electrical tape to make sure that no water gets in this contact. All this is for is that you disconnect this connector. You're supposed to disconnect it when you remove the battery, so it makes it easier. So it won't be an issue that I have a straight connection. Alright guys, so that connection is fixed. Everything's insulated with the liquid electrical tape, and then I put some regular electrical tape insulation over it. Positives on, negatives on, tighten both, but don't over tighten them because you can actually strip these out. This enclosure, by the way, has two tabs, one on top, one on the bottom. Make sure the one on the bottom over there lines up, okay, because the one when I took it apart, it wasn't even clipped in. The next thing you're going to do is there's a little rubber seal over there. That rubber seal has to clip into this enclosure. So that has to be clipped in, and then there's one over here. This also was not clipped in. This was just like getting crushed, as you can see before me. So this also has to be clipped in there tight, because what they're trying to do is prevent water from accessing this area, right? So it's not completely watertight, but they're trying to prevent it from water accessing this. There and there. That's it. Very simple. Disassembly is the same as reassembly. So takes about, what is this minute video, about 10 minutes. Very simple. It does help to have a little 10 millimeter like this, and that's it. Hopefully your sensor is not broken like mine was, because otherwise it'll take you half the time as I'm just talking here to you. Okay, so all set here. What I also like to do is any new battery that I put in, regardless what the car is, they never come fully charged from the store. So I just put it on a little trickle. Usually it only takes about 25-30 minutes for a full charge. And then once this right here is just solid green, that means that it is good to go. I also like to put, before you put the clamps on, put a little bit of dielectric grease on the positive and negative terminal. That way, if water ever gets in there, it doesn't get all corroded. Oh, by the way, you don't have to take this off to get to the negative. There's that latch mechanism here, so make sure that's locked. And then you can put the positive on the positive, and the negative, you can put it on any of these bolts. You can put it on that one, you can put it on that one, it doesn't matter. And then once you're done, I know this is gonna sound stupid, but to put this thing on, right, so you see these little teeth, they have to slide perfectly underneath that ledge right there. There's little teeth on the bottom of that too. And then it also creates a somewhat of a watertight seal along this perimeter, so make sure that these clips don't just like throw it in there, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta make sure that all these tabs line up, so there's a tab there, so it seals properly with it.